Hello, fabulous people. This is the Together podcast, and this is the place where Cherise and I come together to help you get it together for your everyday business life. So we hope you enjoy.
What are we talking about today?
Oh, so last week we talked about seasons.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe we can continue on, because I have to admit, it was so good last week. I intended on going back and listening and, so we could recap. But girl, my week was out of control. I went to Mexico this week and for a wedding. And
how was the wedding?
Girl, it was so amazing. Like, I love this couple. They're just so blessed. Like, they met within a tribe of people. Like, they know his people, her people. They all been knowing each other for a long time. And he was liking her, and he was like, "They's like, shoot your shot," and he finally shot his shot. And like, they have been getting it ever since then. And so it was finally the wedding weekend. And when I tell you, so beautiful, so emotional, so heartfelt, I was like, this is crazy. Like, we cried the whole time. Her children, oh my gosh, her son did vows. They walked her down the aisle, did the vows. Oh my God, girl, I can't even talk about it because it was just so emotional. Like, we literally cried the whole time. The groom cried the whole time walking down the aisle. It was just crazy. And it was on the beach.
I'm here. I don't know. I hear you didn't miss a beat. You didn't miss a beat.
You see me?
I see you. You have not missed a beat.
I don't know why you But anyway, it was just, she said when she walked out, she said she just felt enveloped with love, with just warmth. Oh. Girl, it was so beautiful. But it was just a really good time. I had a ball because, I got a chance to style her, do her hair, and we did this epic change. Everybody went crazy. We went from her pretty pinup and went and cut, like a whole, chop the side off and cut. So I can't wait to show the video for it. So, and I just wish that love on anyone. I love it. They are just absolutely amazing. That's my prayer for anyone, just to fall into that type of love, because it's so deep and genuine. Just the whole family, like the children were giving vows and how much they love him and she deserves him. Oh my God, how much they love their mother. I was like, okay, I'm gonna stop before I start crying. But it was just so freaking good. Sometimes you just gotta be in that type of energy and that type of love, that all that love and beauty, that genuineness. So it was amazing.
So let's talk about that, because there are different types of energy that you need in your life. And so I was just thinking, I have not gone to a conference this year. Unlike me, I'm usually at minimum one conference a year, usually 2 to 3. So I haven't been to a conference this year. So I got an invitation to go to a conference that I wouldn't normally go to. She's just not one of my people that I follow, but I've been invited to go. And I think I'm going to go because I need conference energy in my life. Conference energy is like this: go to the mountaintop, get some type of thought revelation. I'm usually out of my norm. I'm not seeing clients. I'm not focused on my business. I'm just there. I'm usually in a hotel. I'm usually in another city. And so it's usually a time. And if I go by myself, it's usually a time of halfway silence. Like, I talk to everybody. So I'm one of the people that doesn't really meet a stranger. So I'm talking a lot, but I'm also quiet a lot, because I don't have usually a partner with me. So when I'm in my room, I'm quiet. And so I feel like I'm really able to receive. And so I think today would be good to talk, because it kind of goes with seasons of also knowing what energy you need in your life and to bring in throughout the year, and notice kind of what fills you up and how it fills you up. And so conferences usually fill me up with business ideas, a new fervor that it can be done, which I can get every day, but there's something different about a conference. And I'm usually always astounded at the amount of people that come to some of these conferences. Like just when you like a whole entire arena of people all trying to be are all in one vibration of trying to get and receive is usually so amazingly powerful. So I say that like that wedding vibe, I think is so important too, because it feels your spirit. Like as you're talking about it, you're just like, oh, it was just like almost like the word delicious. Like it was just like this just kind of, what do we do all of this for? To have those moments where we can just be with our family and friends and just celebrate. So I think we need those little moments. And then we also need those big conference moments. What else? What else do you think we need in our lives when you think about the year and the type of energies you should be chasing and making sure are present? What do you think? I'm talking a lot with my hands today.
Okay, so I think you need big energy. You know, like you need something that is gonna give you that big energy you need to go forth. You know, so it can be a conference, it can be a retreat, it can be a wedding. You know what I mean? So because I honestly did walk away from that wedding. First of all, it was in Mexico. You know, we were in Tulum, so it was just
beautiful.
Healing. It was beautiful. You know, and we were in the AA portal. You know, the abundance portal, like we are at our highest ascension. We are here. We are in abundance. You know, either walk in it or not. It's up to you. And I was in that mode. I was in receptance mode. I felt like I did feel big energy when I left there. Funny thing, I had to keep my big energy because I got bumped off of my flight in Mexico. And as things were unfolding, you know, and I'm realizing like, oh, we are spoiled and privileged because number one, the next direct flight coming out of there wasn't until 5 days later. Direct flight coming from Cancun was 5 days later.
Wait, what?
So they were having to reroute us. But let me say this real quick, and I will get back on. But this has a lot to do with my big energy that I had and how I was able to handle this situation. So he's saying, "Oh, we're gonna." First of all, they didn't handle it correctly because we're at the gate. A gentleman and I were at the gate. And looking like, she's like, oh, you don't have a seat. I was like, well, he said he would meet me up here and give me my seat because he didn't give me my seat at the counter. And I see the dude and I'm like, okay. So you know how Delta say, hey, this flight is overbooked. Anyone want to volunteer? They never said that. And I'm looking, I'm like, it's getting close to the time for that flight to take off. Hey, what's happening? And they're not saying anything. She's like, we need 7 more minutes. I said, okay. And I'm looking, I'm like, it's been 15.
What we doing?
Is the flight gonna take off? Is it waiting on us? What we doing? They never announced that we weren't getting on the flight or that there was an issue. They just said, hey, oh, I'm so sorry. We're gonna have to put you on the next flight. Oh, what? We're not getting on the flight? Like what? And what happened now? What happened? So anyway, long story short, they're like, okay, we'll put you on the next flight, which is 5:20. In my mind, I'm like 5:20 a.m. Okay, bad, cool. I can deal with that. No biggie. They're gonna put us up in a room. 5:20 the next day, p.m.
Oh,
is what they meant.
Oh, okay.
Then that's a flight to Houston. Connection to Atlanta. Well, as I'm looking at the time, I'm like, oh, okay, so we'll get there late. And then 11:59, like, oh, y'all have a flight leaving Houston 11:59? Okay. No. 11:59.
The next day. Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
So as I'm getting the information, I'm like processing and downloading. And I'm getting a little hot, and I'm like, no, you're in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's not your personality. You don't show out like that, and you're really not gonna show out right now
In another country.
in another country. So the one time I want to, it's like, nah, you're not gonna do that. But they put us up in another resort, which wasn't the same, but had a place to stay, had food, and but we ended up buying tickets on our own to get out of there. And I've been talking to them on the phone so they can reimburse and do vouchers and all that stuff. But we are privileged, especially being out of Atlanta.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
With that being said, which is why it is important to keep that energy in that pipeline, whatever energy you might need for whatever source, because you might need any of that energy in any situation, because I needed my professionalism.
Oh, wow.
I needed my positivity and my optimism. Yeah. I needed to pull from everywhere to stay calm in that situation and to listen, to what was being said, because I'm in a different country and they mostly speak Spanish. And while they are, they do speak English, it was kind of broken English, so I had to pay attention. So anyway, yeah, I believe in everything you're saying in regards to, where are you pulling this energy from? I believe retreats are important, spiritual retreats as well, making sure you are spiritually filled.
Okay, break down what a spiritual retreat is. Wait, for you, what's a spiritual retreat?
So a spiritual retreat for me is, first of all, I'm big on meditation. I'm big on going within self, so you have your church retreats, you have your spiritual retreats, like going and doing meditation, hypnosis, tapping, all the spiritual things, biblically based, So it just depends on where you're going. Sometimes it's a women's retreat. Sometimes it's a yoga retreat. Just different things. So, but I believe that you should definitely invest in that, because I believe that spiritually is how you keep yourself intact emotionally.
Yeah.
And I believe that if we are emotionally intact and operating in our emotional intelligence, we can make better decisions.
Yes. And
so
knowing yourself emotionally, knowing, okay, I'm feeling down. Let me do this, and that. If you are feeling worn out, okay, let me make sure I'm taking my vitamins. Let me make sure I'm drinking my orange juice. Let me make sure I'm doing all the things that I need to do to keep my body healthy and strong.
Yeah.
I think same thing with our emotions. Like we know I know I'm emotionally off. So let me listen to this. Let me do this. Let me do this. And so really start to learn yourself emotionally and what you need to do to keep yourself emotionally healthy.
Yeah.
Because it's like, it is a thing, and it is a thing that can be helped, controlled, healed, worked on. We can learn how to get emotionally stronger. We can learn me and my friends call it falling into the abyss. You can learn the things that will keep you out of the abyss. You can learn how to get out of the abyss faster and faster and faster. You can learn how to take one step in the abyss and take one step out. So learning yourself and understanding that your emotions are similar to your body. Like what you put in is what you're going to get out. What energy you put toward taking care of it is the product that you're going to have. And when we were younger, just like when our bodies were younger, we didn't really have to think about them. They just ran on their own. This lady, she said 0 to 40, your body takes care of you, but after 40, you have to take care of your body. And I'm going to say the same thing for your emotions. That your emotions kind of take care of yourself or take care of themselves. It's a lot of things that you've been able to just sweep on the rug and keep it moving and produce. But I think after 40, you really need to take time to sit down, and actually probably after about 30
Yeah.
to start and say, how am I running emotionally? Like, how's my emotional engine running? Like, when am I having ebbs and flows? How do I capitalize on my ebbs? How do I capitalize on my flows? Or what do I need to do? And really kind of thinking about how you operate and how you run, noticing that you have any emotional cycles. A lot of people do, and that
Yes,
could be
we
like
do. Absolutely.
seasonal depression, seasonal affective disorder,
Mhm.
just little things. I know I was talking to somebody recently, and they were just having a bad month, and we just talked about it a little bit. And it was the month that their mom died, so okay, that's probably going to be a bad month for you for a while. I would like for us to get it down to 3 weeks, 2 weeks, a week, and then maybe a bad day. But knowing that about yourself, so that's probably not the time that you need to be trying to run your own conference. That's probably the month that you
True.
need to be
True.
attending your retreats, and being taken care of. And so really sitting down and writing that out and navigating that, like, how do I usually feel in this month? How do I usually feel in this month? Okay, well then I need to schedule something for this month so I can counteract this and that, and really think about that. And the thing that's I don't know if it was LeBron James or another basketball player, but I think it was LeBron, because it keeps coming up. And he said in an interview or something, I spend $1 million on my body per year of taking care of my body. And that's been really sitting with me, of when you operate at that high level, the highest level he can operate in his career, that it takes a high level of support to operate at that level. And so when we think, and he makes money literally with his body, many of us make money literally with our brains, with our mind, with our emotions. And so when we think all the money that we need to allocate toward making sure our emotions, our mind, our spirit is operating at peak performance so that we can earn at peak performance, I think that says something. Or I think that's something to make mental note of. Like, oh, $1 million to take care of your body. Okay, I make money with my brain and my mouth. And so, okay. Am I at least spending $10,000 on taking care of my brain and my spirit? My mouth, everything that you do to make money. And you might need to sit down and say, okay, this is my money maker. This is my money maker, whether it's your brain and you coming up with ideas, whether it's your mouth because you're always speaking, like doing a podcast like this, whether it's your ears because you're hearing, and overall just your mind and your spirit. Okay, how much money am I spending to take care of that and to make sure it is well maintained and can perform and produce at that optimal level? Because I've seen a lot of people. I'm gonna give you the floor back in a minute because I'm doing a lot of talking. I understand.
Oh, you're
But I've
fine.
seen a lot of people, and they have these emotionally highs and lows. And so they feel all over the place. And so they have a wonderful event and they're so high. And then after the event, they crash and then they're depressed for 2 months. And then, somehow they get it back together and then they're emotionally high and then they crash for 3 months. And so it's just this up and down yo-yo. And so it's just a hard life to live. Whereas I'm wondering if you're putting all the supports in place, if you learn, like most of us, after an event, we're on a little high, but there is this lull. There is this kind of like crash. Some people feel it after a wedding because they plan for a wedding sometimes 2-3 years in advance, and all of this stuff is going into it and all of these things. And then all in one day, it's over. And there's like this nothingness. So there's this incredible high, and then there can be an incredible low. And so just learning about yourself and what does that mean and what does that mean you need to do. So I remember Joyce Meyer talking one time about after her big conferences, she takes Monday and she goes to a spa. Like she just takes care of herself and pours back into herself after pouring out for the whole weekend. And so that dip of low of is over and you worn out and burnout now, you immediately taking care of yourself so you're not feeling that, or at least you're not hitting rock bottom. And so Yeah, being aware of your energy and knowing your
That's
energy.
good. Yeah, that
Yeah.
self-awareness is everything. And I think self-awareness is also maturity. Hi, Kimmy. Hi, Tiana. How are you ladies?
Mm-hmm.
For me, what else is needed? Healing work, energy, cleanse,
Mm-hmm.
align, reset your vision. Yeah, for who
Mm-hmm.
you are to be. Yep,
Yeah.
absolutely, Kimmy, for sure.
Thank you.
Hey, Tiana, Facebook family over there. So
Mm-hmm.
yes, but that for me, we touched on, maturity and operating in maturity and not in childlike activities. For
Mm.
me, self-awareness is a very mature activity in business and life, period, because we're
Mhm.
at a point you have to know yourself. You have to
Mhm.
know,
Please.
oh, this is the type of conference I can do. This is how long I can do it. This is the
Mm-hmm.
type of retreat I can do. This is why I do it,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and this is the
Mm-hmm.
time of year. Now, this is what I have to master, like a schedule of, okay, so I know this is time for vacation. This is time for a retreat.
Mm-hmm.
This is time for a conference, and sometimes it sets the schedule for you, but there are some things that you should have in there. Like you said, Joyce, every Monday, it's a spa day, but
Mm-hmm.
set your life up, like curate
Mm-hmm.
your own,
Mm-hmm.
situations. Like we said, even the seasons can be curated.
Yep.
We know
Yep.
that this season is for this, but what does this season look like exactly for you? It might not
Mm-hmm.
look like that for everyone else. But one thing I wanted to point out, from before, when you mentioned, like the retreats and conferences and stuff, I think another awareness is, Natalie, like, you go on vacation and then you go on a busy vacation. This was work for me. So an
Mm-hmm.
opportunity to chill was great. But
Yeah.
I went to work. I had one mission, and to make sure this woman looked amazing, right? And anything else was a bonus if I got a
Mm-hmm.
chance to sit
Mm-hmm.
down and do anything else. But if I'm going on a real vacation, like, what's the intent of this vacation? Okay. A lot of vacations can be busy with
Mm-hmm.
movement.
Mm-hmm.
That's to me not a real vacation.
Mm-hmm.
Conferences, even, right?
Yep. Not a real vacation.
It's not, no, a conference is filled with time and getting wisdom and knowledge and, action and
Mm-hmm.
networking. A
Mm-hmm.
retreat is different,
Mm-hmm.
but I will say this, two different kinds.
Mm-hmm.
Grew up in church retreats that were busy, 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 right? Service after service after service, and you're getting fed, but it's like, it's not a retreat, it's not a self retreat.
Gotcha.
So you have to know, what is the intent. And now, as we're having this conversation, I'm realizing, like, oh, you know what? Because I went to the most amazing retreat earlier this year, which I have to say this. Whatever work it is that you are putting in, whether it's business, spiritual,
Mm-hmm.
whatever kind of work, emotional, you don't do it one time and it goes away. When you do the work, when you go, you pay for the conference, you pay for the retreat, or if you just go on your own, you have to know that that's the seed sown to
Mm.
this action,
Oh, speak
right?
that. Speak that and go deeper.
Yes. So what I'm saying is, you had the thought and you realize,
Mm-hmm.
oh, I need some time. We'll just stick with the
Mm-hmm.
retreat.
Yeah.
And I'll stick specifically to the retreat that I went to. So I went to that retreat. It was 4 days. I knew I needed a release. I needed a renewing and a reset. And I also wanted to reprogram my mind on a different level. I've been working on reprogramming my mind for many years now. A lot of us have, whether we realize it or not.
Yeah, and I don't know even if there's an arrive on that. I think we're just gonna keep doing that for the rest of our
There's
lives.
not,
Because there's
no, there
always
absolutely
some
is
way in
not
which you can evolve to. Yeah.
any of this evolution, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, but what I want people to understand is, once you sowed that seed, once you put in that work is working. I don't care
Mm-hmm.
what it looks like, that work is working for you. one of my big goals was to change my money mindset.
Yeah.
On a whole different level.
Yeah.
I've been working on that too for years, but I had just made a decision, like, I want to become someone new in my money mind.
Mm-hmm.
And, of course, when you go through that in a way, by habit, you're thinking like, oh, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
Something big is going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Something big can't really happen until you're really ready.
Ooh, say that. Yeah.
It can happen. Let's be clear. It can happen, but by the grace of God,
yeah,
it doesn't, because you are covered and protected.
Right. Right.
Covered and protected. Go ahead.
You're right. It can happen when you're not ready.
Mm-hmm.
But if it happens when you're not ready, it won't stick. It won't stick. And so, and y'all, you've probably had experience, but you've seen it. But the most famous experience I can think is Ayanla. Her first time out, she wasn't ready. And if you ever go back and hear her story with her and Oprah, first time she wasn't ready. And so she was trying to move too fast. She wasn't there yet. And then she had to take a step back. And now she's blown up again. And so
there's a deep story behind that too, because she allowed some others to take her somewhere she was not aligned to be, which is why she ended up, where she did, because she didn't take her time and she fell for the okie doke, like, oh, well, we'll do this and we'll do that. And if you realize, if you followed the path of it, she relaxed her hair and everything. Do you remember that? Do you remember that?
I don't remember what she looked like. I just know the story. And so
yeah. We'll go into that a different time. But they changed her whole image, turned her into someone she was not, and she could not sustain it. I think the show lasted 8 seasons or a year or something like that.
Yeah.
But the huge story was when they came together and had that interview. Her and Oprah, when all the truth came out. That I'm going to bring that back up because I really want to share. I tell this story a lot, but I want to share that video so some people can see the ahas in them both when it was happening, especially in Oprah, because and Yana was like, I didn't understand. Oprah was trying to tell her, like, I put you on my stage when I didn't put anybody. I didn't put another soul on my stage. Dr. Phil, Dr. Oz, Rachel Ray, nobody she put on the stage but the Black woman. Oprah sat down and let her have her stage once a week. And then she came to Oprah like, why can't I have a show? Why can't you help me get a show? She's like, I'm not there yet. I'm not there. Let me finish doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So, and Yana, threatened her with, they're promising me this and other. And Oprah was like, hey, do what you gotta do.
Go do you.
Baby, that thing was so good. When they came back and Yana was trying to tell her, she's like, I could not hear you. She's like, I couldn't hear you. And they both it was an aha in the moment. And Oprah was like, oh, I get it. I hear you now. But it was all these years later.
Yeah.
That Oprah was just doing the best she could. While people were talking about, oh, she could have this and they don't even I followed Oprah. I followed her whole journey from the time I found out about her. So I watched all those shows. I have all the tape things of the 50th anniversary and all that stuff. The 100th show, something, whatever. But I watched that show and I was like, people don't understand Oprah, that she's up here blowing up in front of your eyes and evolving. And she's trying to make things happen that she can't yet. Give her time. So they talk about how she put Dr. Phil, Dr. Oz on, and it looked like it was a certain way. She put Iyanla on first. And Iyanla and let the big networks give her own show that she couldn't sustain.
Yeah. Oh,
So the evolution came back. They had their sit down. And Oprah, when she called to talk to Oprah was like, the only way I'm gonna sit down and talk to you is on TV live, raw.
Wow.
It's the only way we're gonna do it, because we're gonna do this right.
Wow.
We're gonna evolve.
I'm getting so many chill bumps, and
I know, because it's that deep.
It's that deep, but it's also how you can think you're ready for something, almost like a teenager. I'm ready. I'm grown. I'm ready. I'm grown. I'm ready. I'm grown.
Yeah.
And then realizing, oh shoot, I ain't ready. I'm grown. Like I don't got it all together, or I'm not able to maintain. And that's really how you know you ain't ready, is when you can't maintain it, when it only lasts for a fleeting moment.
Yeah.
And I don't even remember her show coming out that first time for that year. And I want to say just something about authenticity, because Queen Latifah had a show for a hot minute. And when I looked at her, I was like, you're not yourself. You're not the queen that we know. And sure enough, that show didn't last. And so I think also being ready is being able to be true to who you are, your authentic self.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is, again, knowing who you are, knowing what energies you need, knowing what keeps you grounded, who keeps you grounded. Like somebody, you should be able to say, I know I need this, this, and this in my life for me to function. Period. If I don't have this, and that, I'm going to be subpar. I can tell you now, I done been with me long enough to know me, and these are the things. And if I start to go subpar, this is how I call myself out. This is how I get myself back on the straight and narrow. Because I think when you do get to that next level. So in the South, we got a saying, new level, new devils. And I think sometimes it's new level, new devils, but I think sometimes it's the new level and it's just the same devil. They just dressed up and got in, put on a different suit to meet your current level, but it's that same devil willing to attack you again, ready to jump on you again, those same insecurities, those same everything. And so learning all of that about what do I need to keep in my life to keep me moving forward. You know, like did you get your Wheaties this morning? What do you need to produce at the level you have to produce? What is those? What is your $1 million combination to keep you producing at the level you need to produce? What do you need? What systems, what conferences, what retreats, what do you need to constantly be growing in so that you're constantly moving forward?
So I'll share a transparent moment about a realization for me. I was starting my Activate Your Abundance challenge on Friday, right? And I didn't realize that I was setting myself up. And Tanisha and I had everything set up and ready. Girl, two things happened. Okay, for one, I was traveling. I thought it would be cute because I'm traveling, Activate Your Abundance, Happy Feel Good Friday, boom, boom, boom. I'm in Mexico, bup, bup. Well, a couple of things. I got to Mexico. My silly self didn't realize that the wedding was Friday, not Saturday. So I'm coming in Thursday and I'm prepping for Friday. And I'm finding out in the midst. And I'm like, which was so smart for them. But I'm getting ready for tomorrow. I don't have one more day. And also the other thing was my internet was acting a stone cold fool.
Girl, internet in another country.
Yeah, I didn't have none. And I was only in Mexico, so I'm just thinking, I'm cool. Girl, my internet was a mess. So I really couldn't start the challenge. Now, I'm going to be transparent. Because I didn't have it on super automation and it needed me, I'm so involved in my challenge that was basically the problem. Now, I'm not ready for it to be on that automation yet. I'm going to be super involved right now until we get a little farther down the road. But, I didn't think it through. I didn't think about not having internet. I didn't think about oh, me having the days of the wedding confused, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just went prepared. Saturday was on my mind, not Friday.
Yeah, I understand that.
So, but things happen and I wasn't prepared.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
I have to, for me, when I'm planning things and I'm doubling up like that, I got to know me better. Stop doubling up like that. Don't even set yourself up to do a challenge when you're traveling. I'm trying to be cute.
Right.
Like I said, I'm in Mexico, blah, 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 day 1, day 2,
Now I completely see how you thought that was gonna work. I would have thought that was gonna work. I would be traveling, I would go do the hair, then I'm gonna do my little video. I'm like, I could exactly see how that was gonna work.
And it could have. It really could have. Because I don't mind getting up early, doing all that.
Mm-hmm.
But girl, when I started getting on the internet and girl, it was just scrolling. It wouldn't even let me. I posted one video that evening. And then from there, girl, my videos just nothing was happening. Mm-hmm. And I had to just shut it down. I said, okay, it's cool. I'll shut it down. My tribe is flexible. They are good. So we'll be okay. So you just have to do better. And I told her, and on top of that, she was headed to a conference too. And she was my backup. So she's always the one that's edifying me in my lives and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. She's the one making sure the emails get out in people's DMs and stuff. Girl, she was in a conference.
Right.
Trip. I was like, hey, my bad. I didn't think this through. I just thought I was.
What's the takeaway lesson? So if you have to give somebody, okay, a 1, 2, 3 takeaway lesson from that is what?
Get your calendar right and schedule properly. And don't double, triple yourself. Even though I thought that would work, I was in another country. I have to consider like, okay, so I had the resort had internet, all the things, but my phone wasn't working right. For whatever reason, I couldn't send pictures. I couldn't, text. It was just a lot. So reconsider all those things. Maybe you should be in the state stable. Mainly scheduling and being stabilized, instead of, just, being all over the place.
Yeah.
So focus. Maybe you can't have all the bells and whistles, and what is the goal? Because my Activate Your Abundance this season is going to be big. So I don't have time to be playing with people's time like that. So it's going to be a huge, huge shift. So scheduling more so, and then scheduling and intention.
I'm excited about that. I'm excited about the learning and the growth of it all, and I think these are the things that you like like they say overnight success takes 10 years. And it's stuff like this that you learning like, oh, shoot. Oh, I got to learn that. Okay, I got to do that. Okay, I got to put this in place. Oh, okay, we should have did this. And so I'll talk about this more in the future, but making sure that you're documenting and making a list of things that need to be done and when you need to do it. So for example, the biggest example right now in my life, in my world is Thanksgiving dinner, because I host a big Thanksgiving dinner. And so last year when I was buying some stuff at the last minute that I could have bought months ago, I was like, okay, you gonna have to sit down and write out your list of what needs to be done when. Tablecloths, you should not be buying tablecloths the day before. Tablecloths can be about 6 months ahead of time.
6 months ahead,
but
I bet you'll get that thing this year, Natalie. Like that was the year that it clicked for you.
Yeah, I will.
Like it won't happen again. And I'm super confident in so much of that this year. And I have a really great friend and client, Miss Jean. She told me something probably about 10 years ago, right before I got married. And I was like, oh my goodness. I was like, I got to get my life in order. I'm getting to get married. I got to be, you know what I'm saying? Like, she said, baby, it's going to all come together. She said, quit worrying about that. She said, you good. You good. She said, y'all be running. And we did the same thing. She's talking about their generation. We were doing the same thing, trying to hurry up and get it together. And she said, by the time you turn 50, everybody going to be on the same page. They really ain't even going to care. Everybody be on the same page and, just happy to be alive and happy to be, have each other. And she said, it really honest, you'll see. She said, it starts to really come together and click for you because you're not going to want to work that hard. You're not going to want to redo things over and over again. That to me is what clicked for me. The having to redo things over and over again, like lessons, the same lessons over and over. Like, I'm tired of that.
Yeah.
Why am I back here again? And, that's a common story. We talk about that often. Like, okay, why am I here again? Why am I learning this lesson again? Well, get over the damn lesson. Get over the lesson.
Right.
But that's a decision. I'm done with that lesson. So go get your tablecloths, girl, next week.
I am. I'm a matter of fact. So for you guys, if there are any events that's coming up in your life in the next before December 31st, okay, any events the second half of the year, I would like for you over the next week to sit down and write down everything that event is going to need and then organize when you can purchase stuff, when you need to put stuff together, what can be done way in advance, what needs to be done the day of, and really write it out. Okay. Yeah. Specifically, those of you who are trying to do 2 or 3 events before the year end, sit down, figure it out, map it out, and execute on just those little things. Okay. Yeah. Now, we got the rest of 2024 and we're looking at 2025 already. Those of us who are starting to think about events in 2025 that need to be thought about a year in advance, we're already thinking about that. I know some of y'all are even thinking about 2026. All right.
I know.
Same thing. We just talked about energies. What do you need to put first in your calendar? Most conferences know where they're going to be 2 years out. And so if they ain't put it on the internet yet, then you can probably call them and say, where are you going to be in 2026? Oh, y'all don't have the 2025 information up yet. Where you're going to be in 2025. And so go ahead and put into your 2025 calendar. You might need to make something happen in 2024. Your spiritual retreat, however that may look for you. Yeah. Your big conference that's going to give you that big conference energy, however that may look for you. And then look for those small family moments like the weddings and stuff. And you might not know when it's coming, but you can also create a small family event that gives you just that love and that, like, this is why we do this and those small moments. And so take a seat. If y'all haven't felt that fall wind come in yet, oh, I love it. Fall is here. So take a seat and sit down and just pay attention to your planning. What do you need? What do you need to put in place? And I'm gonna challenge you to think out because we're so on the cusp of 2025. So think out for the rest of 2024 and all of 2025. What do I need? What do I need to put in place? What's going to have me perform at my optimal level emotionally, mentally, spiritually? And when does that need to fit in my calendar? And then on my events, what can I go ahead and put in place so that I'm not last minute on anything? So I'm operating so smooth and so cool. Smooth and cool. Yeah. And I'm gonna do the same thing. So I have the Know Your Numbers event is coming up in October, which I still need to sit down and do the advertisement for that and make the videos for that. So I got to get that done. And then Thanksgiving. And then I think I want to do something for Christmas. there are a lot of friends that I feel like I haven't been able to see for whatever reason. So I'm thinking I want to do like something like an all-day girls event at my house on Christmas. So we'll see. But start to sit down and plan it out, people. Plan.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else, Cherise?
Yeah, I want to say, Kimmy was saying, the energy must work and become habitual in your cipher. So that's basically what we were saying. She's like, the work must become habitual. Yes.
Girl. Tell Kimmy, I said, preach that, girl.
Yes.
Preach that, girl. Preach.
It's us to level up, arrive at one level to get to the next, because there is always a next.
There's
True.
always a next.
Ready energy. Yep. So,
Oh, let me say something on that, because there's always a next
yeah.
and I really learned this from Russell Brunson,
Mm-hmm.
and who's amazing. So if y'all don't know who Russell Brunson is, he's amazing. He may not be your flavor, but you got to respect that man's business acumen.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
that man is on it. But what he was saying about your followers and your people in a funnel, because he's all about funnels, right? Is that your funnel should always have a next level. Always. There is no end to the funnel.
No
Like
end.
it should never end.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh wow, that's a concept. Because when I was taught the funnel, it was like 5, 6 levels, maybe 7 max if you got, and then that was kind of it. And so him saying the funnel should never end is like, whoa. And then I was in a one-on-one with Wendy Y. So she's a coach around the Atlanta area, out of Macon, I think. And Wendy was saying in that one-on-one is listen to your people and they'll tell you what they want to do next.
Exactly. Oh my goodness.
They'll
That's something that I have been able to really live my business off of, because the people will tell you what they want. And when they tell you what they want, you give it to them the way they want it.
Yes, say
And
that.
that's simple. Like that is simple. People, listen very closely here. Like we're dropping from gems and diamonds right here, right now. For real, like, and even when it comes to the funnel, I would like for you to give me your quick understanding of what a funnel is, and I give you mine, and then why it's important to listen to the people so they tell you what.
Yeah. Okay, so my quick understanding of a funnel is getting people into your world, something to get people into your world, and then working them down into a deeper relationship with you. That's the easiest way I can explain it, because there's so many different ways to do that. But initially getting them to your world, which is the top of the funnel, creating some type of awareness. They're aware of you. And then bringing them deeper down into the funnel, maybe from purchasing items from you or listening to you or just developing that relationship. And then this is business. So we want them purchasing and purchasing more and purchasing more and purchasing more.
Yeah. And that's such a great explanation. And so many people are just not fully tapped into what a funnel is. And it's super simple. It's also building your community.
Yes.
The funnel is how you build the community. So the first time a person sees you and comes into your cipher, Kimmy, and it's like, oh, I like her. I like what she's saying. She makes me feel good. Oh, I love that tip. Oh, she's consistent. Oh, wow. Oh, she's having an event. Oh, I'm going to pay to go. Oh, I'm going to invite some people. Oh, she has a coaching program. Oh, I think I'll join her coaching program. Oh, I think I'll stick with her. This is going to be my coach. I'm going to ride with her. I'm going to stay in her community. Like it's that simple. That's so why we have complicated business only because it's been new. Every step has been new to us, but it's not new to us anymore. We have so much information. And I think the basics is, Natalie, this right here. Like, you should understand what a funnel is. Like, stop thinking a funnel is something you got to go purchase from someone. I got to have all these emails. People think that a funnel is an email list. It's a part of the communication. But bringing people into your funnel right here, the first time a person comes in or anyone who is on these comments, guess what? You're in the funnel, baby.
Yep. You in there.
You're in here with Natalie and Cherise, the Together podcast. And then we both have our journeys, our different journeys, but we brought it together. And you're here because we're having a conversation. Right? So whether you're in business or not, you have a funnel. You do. You should think about how your funnel makes people feel. And
that's good.
Especially when they walk away from you. Like, how do people feel when they walk away from you? What impact did you make?
Yeah.
Do they want to come back?
Another way to think about a funnel is it's a business model. But it's a business model that you can apply on top of any other business model. And so I don't know if that made sense or that confused you guys more. I'm sorry. But it's just a way of, I don't know how to say it, a way of doing business, a way of being.
I understand it fully, but I think something for you and I, we've been in business a long time. We are seasoned entrepreneurs. So for newer entrepreneurs or people who don't quite understand the language, that it might not, tap in for them. But that's why we break it down for them.
Yeah.
Because if you're a newer entrepreneur, you just need to know, we're not going to talk about leads right now, but, the whole lead magnet thing, we talked about that earlier last year or earlier this year. You are your number one lead magnet. When people see you, you're the lead magnet. Okay. So where are you leading the people to, into the funnel? So,
Yeah. Okay. All right. I think that's it for today.
I think that's it for today too. I was looking at the time. I was like,
yeah. I want to say we love you guys.
Yes, we do.
We want the best for you. If you need us, we're here. So you can get Cherise on Facebook. You can get me on LinkedIn, Natalie, Elliott.com. Yep. Nope. NatalieElliott.com.
Natalie.
That's the website. NatalieElliott.com. Okay. But you can find me on LinkedIn. My little face will be there. And come find us. Come ask us questions. Come get the support you need. So we're here to support you.
And feel free to tap in on topics you want to talk about. Next week you have a topic you want to talk about. Let us know. Just drop it in the comments.
Yeah.
And we'll tap in.
All right. Cherise, it was so nice spending this time with you today.
I know, as always.
All right. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you next week.
Have a good one. Okay,
bye.
Bye-bye.